Good morning, everyone. I just realized we're already on Wednesday. This week is really going by really, really fast. So, let's get to my low, my high, my act of kindness. Let's see. My low is the fact that I didn't, because here's the thing. Tuesdays are normally one of the days of the week I spend with my folks. And we had dinner like super duper late last night. I'm talking like 8:15 at night. That is far too late to have any dinner. No me gusta. No me gusta. But we did have we had a couple of rotisserie chickens from Meniere's, some potatoes, and some salad. It was good. It was good. I've actually been on a store-bought rotisserie chicken or fried chicken binge lately. Like, I don't know, I've just been craving that stuff. I like rotisserie chickens. They're good. Well, I think they are anyway. Okay, so let's get to my high, and that is I did get to see my family, which is awesome. And I do have a episode of AGT to talk about. So I saw America's Got Talent last night. As always, it was awesome. Especially when, I'll get to this in a second, but I really do wish there was just more than 5 golden buzzers in the auditions. Because there really were some pretty great acts last night. And my act of kindness, I actually like several acts of kindness yesterday. Holy cow. Like when I got to my folks' place, I emptied out all their garbage cans because today is garbage day. I cleaned up all the dirty dishes and put them in the dishwasher. And this is actually something that happens at my folks' place, especially during the summer, because my father actually has a dehumidifier, and he empties it out like every day, and it's really every day, like during the summer, because that's when it gets the most humid, and you just gotta empty it. So I did that too. So in terms of acts of kindness, I was relatively busy. So that's really about it. Now let's get to America's Got Talent. Good morning and happy hump day, everyone. Where do I even begin? So last night's episode started off with a singing boy band from Japan, which I will admit, as someone who grew up in the 90s with bands like 98 Degrees, NSYNC, and of course the Backstreet Boys, of course this one appealed to me. That was really nice. Let's see, though. Actually, speaking of like singing groups, this was like one of the most heartfelt things of the evening. I really think like this is like, man, it's not like this is why there needs to be more than 5 golden buzzers, because there was a kids acapella group called Acapella, which is actually I think it's supposed to be like a parody of I think it's Kids Bop or something like that. But there was this one kid they had in this group who had passed away from something called SUDIC, which is, I believe the acronym stands for Sudden Unexpected Death in Childhood. Yeah, that's what it was. So this kid, like, I think so basically they dedicated the performance to him, and they were good. I love me some acapella music. I was in an acapella group in high school. And so I love that stuff. Although you guys are probably wondering, yes, I have seen Pitch Perfect. But only the first one, because of course the sequels are never going to be as good as the original. Seriously, like, if you watch any of the Pitch Perfect movies, just watch the first one. It's better. And definitely funnier. Plus, just like every other, well, most guys out there, Anna Kendrick is fine. So is Brittany Snow. I'm pretty sure she's married right now. That being said, though, Brittany Snow is really hot with red hair. I almost called her a ginger, even though it's not totally what she is. Anyway, for those of you who don't know, Ginger people are characterized with a red hair, really pale skin, and freckles. By the way, ginger people absolutely do have souls. Do not ever say otherwise. I could tell you a story that I actually could tell you a very hilarious and disturbing story that proves that true, but I don't want to get into that right now. Anyway, so, wow, I just got really sidetracked right there. Right, Acapella. They were awesome. They were incredible. There were a few really good singers on last night, of course. Actually, like, one of the first acts that got buzzed, as in like they didn't move on, was okay. So this one crazy looking girl, right? Well, not crazy, but I mean her outfit was really great. But she's like, I'm going to show you an animal that's never been on the America's Got Talent stage before. Okay, this should be interesting. The animal was cockroaches. You know, honestly, it's a shame that Howie Mandel wasn't there for some reason, because I would love to see that act move on just because of the hilarity of it. I mean, of course, Heidi Klum and Sofia Vergara were going to say no to that. It's cockroaches. People think cockroaches are gross. And I'd be lying if I said I didn't agree. But, you know, it was unique. It really had never been seen before. I'm being serious. No one has ever put cockroaches on America's Got Talent before. Basically, the cockroaches were doing like stunts, like going through hoops, going like a little obstacle course or whatever, even though she was like sort of nudging them along or whatever. I don't know. Cockroaches is, I mean, yeah, cockroaches are what you would consider not appealing for people, but what can you do? You know, cockroaches, just like most insects, existed long before we were here. They're going to be here all throughout the existence of humanity, and they're going to be here long after humanity is gone. That's just how it works. I wish that wasn't the case, but whatever. Let's see. Although I'll never get, Sophia was like completely like grossed out by the cockroaches. I can't say I blame her. I'd actually be kind of grossed out too. That is what it is. Actually, speaking of Sophia, there was a this Latin dance couple, which, okay, obviously we live in a world where a show like Dancing with the Stars exists. I have seen some of it here and there, and you know, I've seen, actually, there was like 2 seasons in a row where they got the roast master general himself, Jeff Ross, to be in the finale. And I love me some Jeff Ross. Jeff Ross is awesome. Note to self, do my thoughts on Stoical Roast at some point. Because I'll admit, I've probably seen that show through about 3 times right now. And it gets funnier every time. I'm not going to lie. Maybe I'll probably do that tomorrow. I'll think about it. Anyway, so my point is, the dance number, the choreography, and everything that happened in this act was so good. I am 100% convinced that if this was like the America's Got Talent finale, it would win. Like, straight up, it would win. It was that good. And, yeah, that was some incredible dancing they had. Actually, this was a relatively international looking evening. I mean, you had people from Japan, from, where did I just say this? Oh, right, where was that group from? The dancing couple. I forget. I know it was a Spanish speaking country because Sophia was able to translate some of what they were saying. I forget. I apologize. But one very good group was one act I should say was from Albania, and they did like a balancing act. They'd be on like a roller bowler, I think is what it's called. I forget. And basically, like, the guy gets, like, on his stomach in, like, push-up position, but, like, the board, the roller thing, another board on top, you got to balance on that, and the guy, like, gets, like on his 2 feet, saying, like that, whatever. And then they took it up one more level, and they do the balancing act on the guy's head. I'm like, okay, this is like, seriously, acts like that. Yeah, I know they wouldn't get like golden buzzers, but man, you kind of wish there was more than just 5 golden buzzers, you know? Oh well, it is what it is. Honestly, here's the thing. The first 5 episodes of every season of America's Got Talent, obviously there's going to be a golden buzzer moment for the most part. Right now we're in that sort of transitional period where we're kind of getting into some auditions that of course are going to move on. But, you know, without being like, oh man, who's going to win the golden buzzer this time? Because all the golden buzzers are used up. It kind of loses a little bit of excitement. I mean, it's not as bad as The Voice, where really the best part is like the auditions and the coaches fighting over who should get the person that they turn for. This is a little bit better than that. That's why I'm able to watch it. Well, that being said, though, obviously The Voice and AGT are on the same channel. They can't run at the same time or the same time of year. I wonder if The Voice is coming back. I mean, it's not like here's the thing. I have really no intention. Years ago I tried doing videos on my thoughts on The Voice, and it lasted about as long as the auditions did, because again, the auditions are the best part of the show. For most people anyway. I mean, yeah, it follows some of the same reality TV tropes. The guy's got to have a backstory. You know, you gotta make him root for you. The whole 9 yards. And it's fun. And it's interesting. But, you know, I think the reason why The Voice, while entertaining and memorable, doesn't quite reach the standards that America's Got Talent does, because, yeah, singing is in of itself a talent. But if you feature one show that features essentially only one talent, and yes, I know singing has lots of different genres of music and stuff like that, but my point is, singing is just one talent. Meanwhile, you have America's Got Talent, which features a show that is not only singing, but dancing, stand-up comedy, balancing acts, a few death-defying acts. Which reminds me, there was one act where last night where like these 2 guys were like trapped in a box that was hung like in the air, and there was a fuse that was lighting up, and if they couldn't get out of the box in time, it would explode. The box exploded. I was like, man, are they okay? Like, you don't see them come out. And then it turns out the 2 guys were part of the camera crew. And they walk up to Simon and Sophia and Heidi to like get their reactions. Like, that is one of the greatest fake out pranks ever. It is. I love that stuff. They literally combine like, is this technically magic? Or I struggle to call this escapism, because technically they did escape out of a box, I suppose. But escapism is really more for, you know, letting your mind wander. And that's what we closely associate that with. So it's like magic, like that act had like everything. Like, seriously, if there were more golden buzzers, that would have probably gotten a golden buzzer, just because of the hilarity of it all. I don't know. But again, no more golden buzzers. But I'm really glad, like, yeah, technically we're in that transition of, you know, without any golden buzzers to look forward to, there's really nothing much to say in terms of great acts that come up, but there are some great acts that do show up. There are. They're just not going to move on to the final round because, again, no golden buzzer. But it's still entertaining. And I was still moved by a lot of what I was seeing. Simple as that. That was a legitimately fun prank, though, that those two guys did. I really do think, like... Actually, come to think of it, Simon was on board for a lot of, like, the stuff you would... Like, he was on board for the cockroaches. But the one thing that he wasn't on board with, that I definitely remember were the two Albanians who did the bouncing act. Because for the first part of the act, like during the bouncing portion, like the guy was juggling and Simon didn't think that was really interesting. It's like, maybe next time you can use knives. Well, if you move on, you'll get knives. So they're definitely going to go. Oh, one last act that definitely caught my attention. The guy used whips and toilet paper. No, this isn't a BDSM. Probably the first time I've ever actually used those letters in that consecutive order on this, doing these videos. This was like using whips like toilet paper slinging, and like the whips are like cutting up the toilet paper and tearing it up. That was actually really cool. Although, let's be honest, whips hurt. So, that guy was clearly professional. Kids, don't do that at home. I hope y'all like this video. Yeah, kids, don't do any of those dangerous things at home. Seriously, do not do them at home. It's actually, like, not a good thing. Like, seriously, practice. You should strive to be safe in life, okay? The people who did those acts are professionals, with which many of you are not. Not saying you can't be one day, but don't do it now. And don't do it at home. Thank you. So I hope you all liked this video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe. It would help my YouTube channel out greatly. As always, I have a very homely video for all of you guys who watch. Enjoy for them. It will be a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. And remember, because I'm on Taco Channel, will be here to land. I'll be back. Take care and make good choices. And you know what? I think I'm going to work on a new outro. 607 all day, baby. See ya.